Hello. It is so cold. Is it? This isn't a good look, is it? Snuggle it around me off camera. I'm all over the place. And I want to make sure that I'm really clear in my communication because my last two financial videos have also been a little bit all over the place and it creates confusion, and I get it. I'm messy. Everything about me is messy and I'm so sorry. I'm doing my best here. With that being said, let me try to start over and tell you that I am excited for this video. My eyes keep drifting over here because I've got like my spreadsheet pulled up on my computer. I have a brand new spreadsheet, which I think is going to eliminate some of the confusion that has happened in previous videos. You know, like I'm getting comments for things like, I would die to have a mortgage of $750. And like my mortgage isn't $750, it's $1,500 a month. It comes out bi-weekly and I didn't make that clear. And anyway, editing Miranda here. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of editing Miranda in this video, but my mortgage is actually $3,000 a month. $1,500 is just my half of that. Paying attention to my finances has given me some hope because I've realized it's not as bad as maybe I had thought it was. Other factors that make me more hopeful is the fact that I did get a raise, which is like 90 bucks a paycheck. In October, I got like some kind of weird deposit from the government. I have no idea why. I'm not looking a gift horse in the mouth. Chase and I split it, so like I got like, you know, $134. Thanks, Justin. I think that just focusing on my finances has brought money to me in a weird way. Like, I joke that I believe in manifestation, but I kind of think that it's true. Like, I feel like I'm kind of pulling money to myself because, okay, now here's the big thing that, let's pretend I manifested. This is the big thing that I manifested. And like, it sounds like I'm making this up, and I swear to God I'm not. Last week I got a letter in the mail from the bank basically saying that my mortgage payments are going to be reduced from $1,500 to $1,357.48. Like, what? What happened is we pay, obviously, the mortgage, and they were taking out $150 a mortgage payment, so $150 every 2 weeks to pay off our property taxes, but had like, I don't know, almost $2,000 now sitting in the bank for property taxes that we didn't need. So the bank sent us a letter basically saying that they're reducing those payments to somewhere around $30. I don't know the exact, I don't have the letter on me, but yeah. So that's huge, and that starts with this upcoming mortgage payment. So I feel so much better. So now I have like an extra, I don't know, $300 a month that I didn't have previously. It just sort of feels like, I don't know. Is it divine intervention? It's probably a divine intervention. I assume that you're here to look at the actual finances this time because, yeah. Okay, I need to make a caveat first before I bring up my October budget. I'm gonna bring it up. Right, see my little fingers? They're bringing up my budget. You guys are sitting on my laptop. I'm bringing it up. Here's the thing about my October budget. I wasn't great about tracking it. There are some things where I'm like, what happened there? Like when I'm looking at my budget, I don't know why things aren't balancing out. I will do a much better job of tracking my November budget. But I want to bring that up because I don't want to lie to you guys. I don't want to hide things from you. Like, I want this to be a completely transparent and honest journey. And I don't want to like pretend that I'm doing better than I am or anything like that. I mean, this is like a real struggle, and this is really me. This is really my finances. And I don't want to lie to you guys, or I don't know. Like, I just, it's really hard to be this messy and have people comment below. So please just be kind about my October budget, and then you can come down on me really hard on my November one, okay? Let's get that out of the way. So with that being said, and the fact that I'm trying to be completely honest with you guys, let's go through my sin list first. These are all my completely random expenses and things. The first thing I should tell you is that I owed my children back pay and allowance. Now we're all caught up, and they don't get any more allowance until after Christmas. And even then, if I don't have a second job, obviously allowances don't start up again. So the first thing I bought for $19.99 was a book for my daughter. I also bought a gift for my friend that was $40.01. I bought a sweater crochet pattern for my daughter, and I owed her allowance money, and I really love that she has this hobby and I want to encourage it. So she got a $10 crochet pattern. For $85.91, we all went out as a family, and I paid for me and my 2 children to have a meal for Thanksgiving. My entire family went. My daughter's backpack pooped the bed, and we needed to get her a new one. And then the kids needed some clothes. And then again, with my allowance back pay, I bought a stuffed animal for my daughter. That came to $120. My friends from out of town were in town, so me and my daughters went out and got coffee with them. That was $24.72. I have a diary app that I use for my pen paling, and there was a yearly fee of $12.42. Had no idea it was going to come out. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not even mad about it. It's fantastic, and I use it all the time. I did groceries, and I bought some chicken nuggets for $6.77. I don't regret it. My neighbor was doing a live show, like local community theater, and they were collecting $15 for charity. And then of course it was Halloween, so I got Halloween costumes for the girls. That was $35.56 and $18. After we went Halloween shopping, I took the girls out for bubble tea. That was $28.55. And then I did some Christmas shopping for stocking stuffers and stuff at Walmart. That was $54.16. I don't know. I went in for groceries. I saw the Christmas display. I had a moment of insanity. I hate Christmas, and I still went and like looked at all their little stuff and got some Christmas shopping done, which needs to be done. And the fact that I'm doing it early this year kind of like helps with the budget a little bit, because I'm not just doing it all at once. That's how I'm justifying it. I can justify every single one of these purchases, and that's my problem, really, isn't it? That's totally my problem. I will say that, like, if you notice this list, there's not a lot of stuff that I bought for myself. And I am not the type of person who like buys a lot of clothes. I have like 5 outfits that I just rotate. Like, I don't buy clothes. I don't buy stuff. My vice is eating out. I will eat out at every meal if I can. And the fact that, like, I mean, we have a Starbucks where I was visiting friends. We've got a chicken McNugget. I only spent $6.77. And then the bubble tea was like a special treat for the girls. So I feel like, all things considered, it was a good month. November's gonna be better, I promise. Let's look at the October budget. I'll put it up on the screen. In total for my house bills, I paid $2,149.57. That included my mortgage of $1,500. My house and car insurance was $274.09. I split that with my ex. That's just my half. I paid for my hydro bill. That was $113.81. I paid for my gas bill. That was $31.94. Paid for my internet. That was $66.08. That's another bill I split with my ex. I paid for my phone, which was $48.89. And then my daughter's phone, and this is just my half, was $45.85. We're locked into a contract, so we can't lower that right now. My Netflix was $18.63. I had some holdovers. I have since canceled Amazon and Prime, but there were some holdovers. That was $11.29, and then the Prime was $22.01 before I canceled. And I've canceled my Canva subscription, but that was $16.99 in October. In terms of groceries, I spent $458.44, so that's amazing. I had budgeted $700. I don't think that's realistic for every month, because I had like Tide, and I had garbage bags and cleaning supplies and like all of the things that you need to run a household, and that I count against my grocery bill. So I don't think that $458.44 is realistic every month, and I'm like running really low on meat. It's gonna be higher, but I am gonna reduce my groceries to like $600 a month. So that works out to be $150 every week. And then hopefully I can come under that, but I want to budget in enough just in case, especially for those months where I like stock up on meat and stuff. My gas was $193.27. We just talked about all my random expenses. That came to $471.84. Bowling, that came to $34.50. That's my daughter's bowling league. Therapy is $63.28. That was 2 sessions, and my work pays for the rest of the sessions. So, oh, I forgot to tell you also, my income for the month of October was $4,013.19. And I also, this is the bad stuff. This is how much I pay in credit card and line of credit interest. So my credit card was $249.13, and my line of credit interest was $98.61. So here's like the breakdown of what I'm doing with the paycheck that I just got today. I should specify that this pay one breakdown is for a 2-week period. I was paid, my usual new rate with my raise is now $1,897.30. My bi-weekly mortgage comes out of my ex's account. So I sent him $678.74. My house and car insurance, again, that's split between the two of us, that's $274.09. My heat was $128. My utilities, that's like water and stuff. This bill comes out every 3 months, and this just happened to be the month that I had to pay it. That was $287.21. My internet bill was $66.08. I know I said I was canceling all subscriptions, but I forgot about Spotify. And this is another bill that comes out of Chase's account, but I sent him $9.60 because I use it all the time, and so do the girls. So I would cancel Netflix before I canceled Spotify. So that's $9.60 I sent to him. So all of my house bills and bills and whatever, that comes to a total of $1,443.72. So feels like a lot, doesn't it, just to live? That's like almost my entire paycheck. My groceries, and again, this includes anything for the household. It's not just food. I've budgeted $280, so about $140 a week. My gas, I've budgeted in about $50. My spending, like this is just if I want to take the girls out for a treat or I want to, do something. That's $50. I've budgeted in, oh my God, doesn't it sound like Darude Sandstorm a little bit? No, maybe not my rendition, but okay, refocus, let's refocus. I have put aside $40 for my daughter's bowling league. It would normally be $20, but I have to take her for both weekends this paycheck because Chase is out of town. And I don't mind doing that because he's already taken her for me a few times, and paid for it. So I think that's all gonna work out in the wash. And then therapy is $31.64. That's for 1 session. Let's talk about my total debt. We're gonna do everything fresh in November. Like I feel like now I can actually get a handle on things. Last month, I think that my credit card calculation was off. And when I say calculation, this is what I mean. Right now, my credit card is sitting at something like $13,700, somewhere in that neighborhood. But that's not a true reflection of my actual debt because I've paid off some of that with this paycheck. So there are certain bills that come out of my credit card. And I'd set this up this way like a long time ago because a friend of mine was like, why aren't you paying your bills with your credit card? Like you get points for this. You're making money by paying bills on your credit card. It's dangerous to do this. That's like a big reason why I'm in debt is because these freaking bills come out of my credit card. And then I just don't, out of sight, out of mind. Like that was like a theme for old Miranda. New Miranda keeps an eye on everything. But this was a bad decision. Maybe I'll fix that. That would be like a really good takeaway, don't you think? So I took that total of like 13,700 or whatever it was, and I've subtracted things from that because I paid off the bills that come out of my credit card today. I am pretty sure that this calculation this month is correct. My credit card total, I only have the one, is $13,573.51. It's a lot. It is a lot, especially when you look at that friggin' interest charge. So that's gonna be my focus, is getting that down as soon as I possibly can. And then I also have a line of credit that sits at $11,302.94. The thing about my budget and my current income is that I can make all of my bills if I'm frugal. And that is amazing. But the downside is that I literally have nothing to put on my debt. So I have been applying to jobs. I've had 2 interviews so far. I think I mentioned the library job in one of my previous videos. I did hear back. They said I was a great candidate. However, my availability wasn't what they were looking for. I've also had an interview at a store for like a cashier position or merchandising. I don't know which one I will get, if I get either, but I should hear back like next week on that one. I've also started the process to, if they accept me, do an online job basically training AI bots. And I can do that anytime I want, as much as I want. So hopefully they accept my application and start sending me work. That would be amazing. And I'm going to continue looking for proposal jobs. I go back and forth on this all the time. We've discussed it in previous videos. I can make more money somewhere else, but would I be as happy somewhere else? I have enough flex in my job that I'm thinking if I got another part-time proposal job somewhere, I could probably juggle them both and do a lot of my work in the evenings. I don't know, I'm looking into all sorts of options, all sorts of jobs, and the goal would be that all or most of my second job's income would go towards paying off my debt. Here's the really controversial thing. I don't want to move back in with my parents. Everyone, I think that like 99% of the comments are like, move in with your parents, move in with your parents, move in with your parents. And I mentioned this in like a previous video, but it's not as easy as it sounds. And it's not a pride thing. Like, it's not like me being like, oh, I'm too old to move back in with my parents. Like, this is really embarrassing. I have this shit right here out on the internet. This is much more embarrassing than moving back in with my parents. The problem is that it's not easy for me to move back in with them because they have to arrange so much of their lives. And I think it's really entitled of me to think, oh, I'm just going to move back in with my parents for a year or two and completely upset their lives, make them live with children again, really inconvenience them. You know, and people are like, oh, and then you get free childcare. Yeah, I get free childcare, but my parents are the ones, you know, like they suffer if I move in with them. I think that the best course of action is to just stay, just to do what I can to pay down my debt. Like, who cares if it takes a little bit longer to pay it off? If I can avoid it, I will. But if it's a necessity, like say I sold this house and I needed a place to stay for a couple of months while I found something, like I could couch surf for a couple of months. We could, like, you know, stay on air mattresses or do something. But to make them like prepare for a long-term stay, I think is a lot. What else? The house, selling the house. This is another thing that I go back and forth on. Do I stay? Do I go? Do I stay? Do I go? Right now, I am kind of leaning towards staying. I still want to get the realtor in this month. The reason why I haven't set it up yet is because I have to arrange that with my ex, who owns this house with me and who lives in the unit. Like that blue wall right there, that's also his wall on the other side. I need to discuss that with him. I want him on the call when we talk to the realtor to have her in. Like, I want him involved in every single step of the situation. It's obviously not ideal to live next door, but I will say this about Chase and our relationship. He is a great father and he's a great co-parent, and he's also a great, you know, like there's never a time where I feel like if I said, Chase, would you give me $600? He would give me $600. You know, like, he is very generous. He takes good care of the kids. We have great communication when it comes to the children. We're constantly, you know, trading things back and forth, and the kids really like being next to him and next to me when they're, you know, they can go back and forth. And like, personal feelings aside, you know, I feel like this situation could be so much worse. And if I move out again, I'm paying more rent somewhere else than I am paying for my mortgage. I'm not building equity. If I move out, I'm just giving my money to a landlord. Now that obviously comes with some perks, like if something breaks in the house, my landlord has to pay for it. Owning a home is expensive, yada, yada, yada. I'm almost thinking the 5-year plan is to build as much equity as we can and then sell after the girls move away. Like, I don't know. I know I'm being really wishy-washy about this. It's just, I don't know what all my options are yet. And it's not as easy a decision as it sounds. You know what I mean? And I don't want to leap into anything because I'm feeling desperate right now. Like, there could come a time when I'm making, you know, over 6 figures, and then this is like easy peasy, you know? So the one thing about splitting everything with Chase is that I've asked him not to split our house bills anymore. We split hydro and utilities and heat. He has bills on his side, I have bills on my side. We each pay half of each. But the problem with that is I figure my bills out much quicker. I figure my bills out much quicker than he does. Like, I don't think I've given him hydro or heat money definitely in over a month. It's like something that like weighs on me because I know that there's gonna come a time when he's like, oh, by the way, you owe me $500, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I don't know, I don't have $500 for you right now. Hi, editing Miranda here. Another theory I have is that he's been trying to secretly give me money and has just stopped charging me for bills. I don't know. I can't confirm that, but it wouldn't surprise me. If I were to move to another apartment or he was to move to another apartment, we would stop splitting those bills anyway. You know what I mean? Like, my hydro bill should be my hydro bill and his hydro should be his hydro bill. The one thing I don't mind splitting on is internet because we both share the same internet. But when it comes to heat, when it comes to hydro, all of those ones where we have separate bills for each unit, I think we should pay for our own. It'll help me, like, if I needed to control that cost a little better, I could turn my heat down, or I could make sure all my lights are off. Starting this last round of bills, we don't split that stuff anymore. I'm sorry that this is so disorganized. I really feel a little bit like I've been talking for over an hour for context. I don't know, am I gonna get this edited down? I don't know. Is it gonna make any sense? Anyway, maybe the spreadsheets. That's like, I think that's gonna be our core. Use the spreadsheets as a source. Okay, bye. Ooh, goodness gracious. Okay, let's rewind. This is where the communication happens, isn't it?